Right. Sometimes movies, after the intermission, it starts completely different story, but towards the end, it connects all the dots. This is going to be like that. I didn't plan for this, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me or not, today I've understood that perception is also, there's no true purpose in it. When I explain to you, don't think that I learn and explaining this. I'm also in the process of what? This is the thing you have to clearly understand. Now, crazy man always feels, always sense that is not there in the world, isn't it? Psychic, something crazy, mad, gone insane. It feels something that does not exist in the world. No? Oh, right, true.
Crazy man does not have any attachment.
No. Crazy man has a lot of attachment. You know why? You are crazy. But you don't know that we are crazy. Let's see. Okay. Let's say a person in a mental hospital. Let's say a person in a mental hospital. He is driving a bus. He's a bus driver. Boom, 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 pap, pap. Why? Why you put him in a mental hospital? Because he is crazy. Because he feels that he is a bus driver, but there's no bus to drive, but he is driving. Agree? I can't see your face, madam. Okay. Now I can see. I need to get the confirmation, nodding, because that drives the session. Right? Crazy man cannot self-realize that he is crazy. We categorize that person as crazy because he feels, he sends something that does not exist. Okay? Okay. Let's say your son, little son, is longing for Santa.
One correction. Wrongly I said crazy man, actually chaotic man.
Chaotic, huh? No. I'm talking about crazy man. Who is that? Okay. Let's say your child is waiting for Santa. He is looking for Santa. Where's Santa? Now it's Christmas. Santa should appear now. During the Christmas, Santa should appear and he should give me a gift. At least a chocolate cake. Please, please. Now he's expecting for Santa. What does that mean now?
I don't see the child is crazy because the size of activity.
Santa is not actually there. Why he is looking for Santa? Why is he looking for Santa? Because he has an idea, ladies and gentlemen, he has an idea. Santa is there. Santa is there. When Christmas is where Santa should be. When Christmas is there, Santa should be there. That's what his idea. Agree? So far so good? Now he's looking for, now waiting for, wanting for, looking for, attached to experience Santa. Attached to experience a gift from Santa. Since he is now, what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Can you give him a can you help him to find Santa? Or because Santa is not there, now he is asking for something that is not there in the world. Now what will happen to his mind? It will vexed. Vexation will happen because of what? Because now there's a pain, there's a mental pressure, there's a suffering, there's annoyance, because now there's an expectation of what? Santa. But the thing is, Santa is not there. My goodness. Now what will happen? After some times, now your child is bringing a brick and showing you, hey mama, Santa gave me this chocolate. It's a brick. Now your child is showing you a brick and telling to you that Santa gave me this brick. A chocolate, sorry, not a brick, chocolate. What happened? What do you suggest? What do you think? What happened to his mind now? He, the threshold limit of vexation, when it goes over the limit, then mind create an illusion of what? Out of a brick. And he is creating an illusion that Santa gave me this chocolate. Sorry, what? I wish, right? But let's say, if we try to do that, then what will happen? His craziness is going over the limits. Agree? You all agree with that? Do you like that story? This story is happening to you right now as well. Let's see. Now what happened? Because of the mental vexation goes over the limit. Now it creates an artificial. You can see the board, right? Idea, attachment, vexation, and now his mind is artificially creating a sense of Santa gave this chocolate to me. That sense he is creating out of a brick sense. Naturally he receives what? Brick sense is what naturally receives. Artificially creating something, another fabricated sense. What is that sense? Chocolate from Santa. This is also perception, this is also perception. Did you get this point? No? Oh yes. Everybody? Everybody, madam? If you didn't understand, please say no. Yes, yes, yes. Now he has an idea, Santa is there. There's an attachment to experience Santa. As a result of that, now he's looking for, he's waiting for, he's longing for Santa. Mental pressure is now appearing in his mind to experience a Santa. Experience Santa. Right? Now he, after some time, he's waiting for, he has gone over the limits of that mental pressure, and now that mind can't tolerate that pressure. Mind goes over the limits of that pressure that mind can hold, right? As a result of that, now mind is creating an illusion, illusionary sense, a false sense, something not there, but it seems there. Because there's only hope for this mind. Now is creating something out of nothing, because why? There's no center. No center means you can't come out of this vexation. Now mind trapped into this vexation. You can't go back and think center is not there. Now it came to this level. Now is expecting what? Center. As a result of that, it creates an artificial sense, an illusionary sense of Santa gave me this chocolate, but what actually receives is what? A brick.
Okay, if you look at the whole concept, vexation has gone beyond the threshold limit, and it has resulted in application of a chocolate given by Santa. Where does this brick sense come in here?
Don't worry. Because brick sense means when you see you and your son before the mental vexation, we both can see what? Brick. He also, from his eyes, he is also receiving, initially he is receiving brick sense. Right? And then it converted to what? Chocolate. Do you understand that? Otherwise he can't hold it, because he has to hold something. What you can tell about this guy now, this child? Gone over the limit. Now we have to give him some pills and put it into a mental hospital, right? And we have to see a psychiatrist or psychologist or something to prove him that Santa is not real there. Do you understand this? Because now he is sensing a chocolate from Santa. This is what he was longing for. This is what he was looking for. This is what he was waiting for. Because of this mental vexation, now it's there, and it has created an artificial illusion of getting a gift from Santa. Now he feels the reduction of, along with that he feels another sense. Can you see this? Another sense that, what is that sense? Relief from this mental vexation. Whew, at last I got it. Now that mind is satisfied. Satisfied or reduction of pressure. You feel a false sense of satisfaction. Don't you think that I'm talking about you guys? This is something that I think this is something that happening to us right now at the moment as well. I feel now Bhante is coming to where? Don't you feel that? This is called paticca-samuppada. Don't think. Santa is there, attached to experience. Go, where's Santa? Santa, my loving Santa. Because of the pressure, now it over the limits, and now it creates an artificial illusion of sense, illusionary sense of what? Santa sense. And false sense of satisfaction also. As a result of this sense, it confirms to him, of course, Santa is there. Next day also, he is looking for Santa again. Because why? Santa is there. This is a wonderful cycle for entertainment.
I'll give an example, one thing. Time to time, many of us who are married, not married, whatever the situation is, we go away, husband and wife goes away, and husband thinks that tonight in the dinner my wife is going to cook so and so dish, which he loves. There is no conversation with the wife, but he feels strongly that that is my expectation. Even kids feel the same thing. I hope my mom is going to make something like this. And they walk with all that thing. And they expect that particular food to happen. Sometimes it happens that it does happen that way. And they're very happy with that. That keeps reimposing their belief system. And they again and again do the same thing. And this crazy thing goes on and on.
This is very mundane. This is very surface. I'm talking about very ground level thing. What you're saying, sir, what you have said, 100% correct. Let's go deeper. Why we have to stay in the surface? Let's go deeper. We have spent some time here, right? This mind, your mind is, ladies and gentlemen, strongly believe one thing, that is uniqueness. Your mind is strongly believe that there are unique entities, elements, separations, separate experiences, separate things are there in the world. Your mind has a strong belief, strong idea that uniqueness is there. Uniqueness, separation. Does that make sense? Separate entities, elements. Not aggregations. No aggregation. That is things. You have an idea, not the Santa. Now replace with this. This is why you said, I strongly can't feel it. Because what your mind says is completely against to what I am saying. You have a strong belief, wrong idea. You don't know it's wrong idea, ladies and gentlemen. You have a strong belief, strong idea that entities, things, there. Sign language. This is this, and this is this. This is not this. This is not this. When I say that, you are, yes, Swaminatha, yes. That's the way you feel from bottom of your heart. Your loving idea get proved again when I say, this is this, yes, Swaminatha. This is this, yes. This is not this. No. When I say everything is same, But. You really like different arrangement. You like that different word as well. That means arrange in a different way, isn't it? That means thing is there. I'm talking about a defect in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. This defect is there in your mind. You are living with an illusion. I'll write everything about it, everything, okay? From this onwards, I'll explain all the things in the world. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what happened here? Now there's an idea that entities are there. Even you don't know that you have an idea. I can prove to you. Don't you feel that you are unique and I am not you? From your bottom of your heart you feel that, how come Swami is a bald head and I am not bald head, I am having a two tails, right? Huh?
What about our minds? So, like your mind and my mind. So
Also same. You know why? When you generate electricity from solar, and when you generate electricity from wind, when you generate electricity from diesel engine, when it's there in the grid, is it same or different energy? Huh.
So why is it that our minds are crazy and not you?
Because I found a teacher.
That's what you're giving us.
This is what you were waiting for.
So to realize the truth, you need to get into the rope.
No, you need to get a teacher. Not the robe. Robe is a symbol of a teacher.
Rope is also an attachment.
It's not the robe, it's the association. Give me 1 second. Now what happened? There's a strong belief. What? Entities are there. You have a strong idea, a strong perception, strong perspective that entities, different things. When I say things, different things, special things. When you go and ask from your restaurant, special, today special. Today special is not yesterday special. And tomorrow special is not today special. You know what they have done is, Mandarin is putting in this way, it's today special. And this is tomorrow special. And this is yesterday special. This is it. This is yesterday special. This is yesterday. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, from flour, salt and water, you can create an oil. You can create millions of variations of food. Kottu, spaghetti, paratha, buns, noodles. Don't worry. Pasta, roti, chapati. What I am telling to you, my dear daughter, that chapati doesn't contain chapati and kottu doesn't contain kottu. Kottu is also chapati, chapati is also kottu. That's why you all are distorted pumpkins. That's why there's a song, "You my pumpkin, pumpkin, hello honey bunny." But you don't feel in that way. You feel, no, me. You are a unique character. You are a unique character, and I am very sweet and sour, whatever. I am like this. I am special. Like today is special, and you are special. You are special.
The meanness in me is unique.
Me, your me and my me are same me's. But the thing is, let's see. I'm going to explain that. Your me sense and my me sense are same me sense. But that sense, irony of that me sense is, that me sense feels, this me sense is not me sense. Me sense is not this me sense. Give me 1 second, I'll explain. Aligned? Huh? You have to see eye to eye with me. Huh? There's no attachment to food, ladies and gentlemen. This attachment is for that idea, to experience particular idea. What is that idea? What is that experience? Uniqueness. As a result of that, now mental pressure arises. You know why? Because there's no uniqueness in this world. Everywhere you have aggregations. Different arrangement, different arrangement. There's no uniqueness in this world. In the world, reality, there's no uniqueness because they are same energy in a different aggregations.
But different means that's unique.
No, same thing, differently packed. Like same birds in a different way. There's no unique things there. It's an arrangement.
But the outcome is different.
That's the effect. Appearance. It looks like different, but it's not there. You can't get something unique to apple thing out of apple, because that's why when you eat this, it becomes your hair. When it digested, then it becomes your hair. That's why I told you, you all are distorted pumpkins. Because when you eat pumpkin, it becomes your skin. That means, whatever that it is there in the pumpkin, rearrange, that is you. So how can you say that pumpkin is not me? From the same rice pot, father also had something, mom also had something. Then how come? The same rice creates father and same rice creates mom. Mom and dad all are same aggregations. These are same bodies. That's why you all are bodies. Body of water. Skandha. Mass. Aggregation. Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen, because of the vexation, now mind wants to experience what? Mind is now vexing to experience something that's not there. What we can do? Can you suggest a help? Mental support. What can we do to support this mind? Please see, this mind is vexed. What we can do? You can't do anything. It creates itself what it wants. Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? This mental vexation resulted in aggregating free energy, dispersed energy.
Manifesting a solution.
You know,
There is none.
out of nothing, creating something. Something like that. It's not nothing. It is aggregating free energy and put it in an arrangement. That sense, it artificially creates a sense. Can you tell me? All these are aggregation of energy. How about sense? Sense is also aggregation of, finest aggregation of energy. Do you sense that I am waving? That sense is also what? Energy. Did you get the point? Sensing.
Yes. Please continue.
Yes.
Sensing business is also what? Every business needs some power. Sensing business also need power. That means that is also energy. Do you understand that? Feelings are not feelings. These are densely aggregated energy, that is electron, proton, neutron. Lightly aggregated energy, these are sensors. What do you think, sir? Where's your mind? Can you see me? You can see me, right? That perception is also powered by energy.
But Swami will say, at least mind, by fabricating something, mind is helping us.
No. No. This process is helping you to get rid of this vexation. Yes.
This question brings to my mind. I really would request you to clarify to us at some point. The mind we have been talking to and hearing since morning. The mind, as per the Buddha said that you need to understand the mind in two ways. One is the true mind, which is part and parcel of the Buddha nature. Another mind which takes the place of that mind is your false mind, which keeps creating this kind of energies to show you the way in the wrong way, so that you never come out of that way, to seek the actual mind, which neither rises nor ceases. Please.
You're going to experience that. You're going to see that. Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Do you understand this? Now, that child has to create an illusion in his mind about Santa. Remember that? Is it there or it's an artificial creation? Artificially also creating something, you need energy, isn't it? It doesn't make sense, or does it make sense? If you have to create artificially or naturally or whatever, you need energy, right? Now, it is taking dispersed energy and creating a false sense. Why it is false sense? Why we call it false sense? False sense. Why it is false sense? Because that is not there, but it sense like what? False sense of thing. This process is what? Abhisankara. Abhi means new, artificial.
Safety mechanism.
Safety mechanism. This is the safety mechanism of getting rid of, coming off from this mental vexation. You get it?
How it comes the safety mechanism?
Because now this is going like over the limit. Now it has to find something to create an artificial sense, otherwise it has no way to come out of it. Does it make sense now? Now what happened? Because of the Abhisankara process, it creates an artificial sense of what? Thing. Uniqueness. At the same time, you feel that satisfaction, false sense of satisfaction, because it's a cure for this vexation. Got it? Clear? This confirms. Wonderful. Things are there. Now this idea is being nurtured to the next minding moment, and it creates again the same habitual process. Do you get this point now? Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? From abhisankara process, it is artificially aggregating this energy, isn't it? These energies are storing whatever the energy that aggregated here, this sense, that energy aggregation is storing here. Somewhere, we don't know, let's say, somewhere. This is a model, like, right? Because it has something artificially created. Got it? Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? When there's right environment, now this energy was there released. This released energy now been trapped. Like in the battery, when you trapped energy, it is under it's high density energy. That means, is it okay or not okay? Not okay means it wanted to come out from the battery. Potential energy is high in the battery. Likewise, this is like an energy ball now. It has to relieve that energy. Release. Do you understand? Don't think too much. I'll explain.
But those are released energy. These balls of energy are already released by through the abhisankara process.
No. Here, free energy was there. It has created this artificial sense, right?
Yeah, okay.
Artificially, when you're creating something, you have to bring all the energy particles together. Like these things. Right? Now these being stored there. It's not real, but there are some energy clumps now. Do you understand this? Because of this process, it creates clumps of energies. That energy, like in the process of mind, it feels like, there's a thing. But what happened to that energy ball? It's storing somewhere. We don't know. Don't ask that question, somewhere. Okay? Now what happened, when this environment is, when there's right environment, these energy balls releases this energy one at a time. This is creating your present perception. Don't worry about this, right? When this energy meets with the environment means whatever the physical thing, that creates the color perception in the mind, sound perception in the mind, taste perception in the mind, smell perception in the mind, tactile sensation, and memory perception. Do you understand this? That is sensing, recognition, arranging, and perceiving. Colors, sense, recognition, arrange, like building that feeling, and perceive, image. This is the process of the mind. This is your natural mind, Buddha mind. Don't worry, I will solve the puzzle. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay? Now, who created this process? This process, energy is now coming again. These energy storages are everywhere. This energy storage now releases energy depending on the environment. As a result of that, this creates the perception. Okay? What happened here is, this energy is now releasing through a series of action and getting released. Do you understand? If I don't write RVSSV, then you will get, it will be easy, right? Okay. Let's say like this. Because of this energy and the environment, it creates the perception. That's why, can you see an apple? That means it's an aggregation. Remember we discussed? And that aggregation has to happen in the mind. That process is happening because of the energy that is being stored because of this process. This is what we call karmic energy. Now what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Perception always happens. The process of the perception is to release that energy to free energy. Because of the ignorance in the mind, it is creating this artificial sense. I told you that it takes the free energy to create this. From where does this free energy is taking? From here it releases. That releasing energy is now grabbing again and putting into bowl and putting back.
Can you this again?
Yes. Don't try to match with what you have learned.
Yeah, understood.
Alright? Go with what I am saying. Then you will get the thing. Whatever the perception whatever this, what is this? This process of experiencing entities, it experiences an entity. Do you understand that? Right. So far so good up to this level? It is aggregating that energy, right? It aggregates energy. That's how it creates that sense of entity. False sense. After creating that false sense, what happened to that energy? Aggregation. It will be stored. Do you understand that now? This energy wanted to come out. Why? Because it was meant to free energy.
So that is trapped there.
That is trapped there. These energy balls are trying to really, now it's waiting to get a chance. It waits for a chance to get released, that energy.
Which is the very nature of energy. Which is the very nature of energy.
Nature of energy is what?
Release.
What is the nature of energy? Release or aggregation? No, I mean,
Nature of energy is just to flow.
Just to flow, freedom. Randomly free. Energy is free, right? Energy always, that's why when you learn chemistry, the ground level, always trying to find ground level. If you don't remember chemistry, don't think about that. Always water is flowing to the high potential to low potential. Why? It wanted to get rid of that energy, release that potential energy to lowest energy possible.
It's like liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. It's like the liquefied petroleum gas, LPG.
Yes. So far so good. Whatever that trapped energy, when it gets released, it creates the perception. The natural perception you feel. When this perception happens, along with this perception, this process is also happening in your mind. Now what happens? After this perception, it is releasing that energy that is trapped there. Now what happened? Because of this process, this energy is taking again and putting it to the...
I'm sorry to say, I'm must be the dumbest guy I have encountered.
Okay. Okay, no. We have time. Yeah, no. Okay. Try to understand this. Did you get the point that there's a sense artificially creating? Did you get this point?
All senses are artificially created. Sensing does not have any awareness. The moment you add awareness to sensing, that is, the I comes into the picture and it is all false.
Now,
It is the false sensing of entities.
yes, what I am telling you, according to my story, think about this. After mental vexation, it has to create a sense of what? Chocolate, in this case, thing, separation, uniqueness. That's what you feel right now as well. Agree with that? Agree? Okay? That sense is actually created from the energy that is there in the mind at the present moment. Released energy. From where does that energy come? I mean, the mind has to find that energy, free energy. Huh? To fabricate, it needs energy. Because nature does not support for that. Right? Mind is getting the energy that is being released from the natural process, releasing process. Okay, I'll explain like this. When you see this, you have two senses. One is apple sense and thing sense. Again, I'm explaining this. When you see this, in your mind it creates two senses. Two senses means not senses, perceptions, feelings. That is apple and there's a thing.
Perfect, because if I don't understand language, I'm illiterate, I just see that as a thing, nothing to do with apple. Because I don't know what apple is.
Yes, but you feel, exactly. But even though you don't understand language, but you feel feeling, right? But you don't have words, right? But at the same time you have another feeling, that sense tells you that it's a thing, separate, unique. This is entity and this is also a separate entity. Do you have this sense right now? Entity, different entity. Okay?
One is existence, the other one is a differentiated existence.
One is something natural process, that is apple process. Other one is something false sense. The first sense is apple sense and the second sense is thing sense. Thing sense is something artificial and it is not there, it is artificially created because of the madness in the mind.
One is an object, another is through a knowledge, it is apple.
Not it is. That perception.
Like perception is an apple.
Ladies and gentlemen, think about this. When you see this, it creates a perception, isn't it? Right? It creates a perception, right? This perception has the naming process of what? Apple. You naming process happens where? In the mind. Right? Even though a person who enlightened, he also feels what? An apple, but he doesn't see an object here. That means there's no separate object here that is not there.
But everybody see it as the same.
Yeah. Nothing
Or
that
is
is
it
same.
same? Is that
Perception, whatever the perception that happens to you, is not the perception that happened to Nilanchal. Your world cannot be your world. Because whatever that happens within your mind is not happening within your mind, but we have a common ground of sharing the words, so we don't feel it that way. Yes, identification process is this. This is the illusionary process. Illusionary process creates a false sense of thing. That's why when these two perception happens together, that creates always what? Apple thing, Mandarin thing, pen thing, what is this? Bouquet thing, clock thing, and waving thing, and this is Mahinda Tero thing, and think about you then, you think. This is...
What is the karmic thing that you just said?
I don't know. It's because now you have sense of something that that you have drawn some picture. Yeah. Now you're trying to tally. That's why that happens. I know that.
So the balance energy, after you have created that thing, manifested that thing out of your mind. That's a thing, X, Y, Z things. So the balance energy, the leftover energy you are talking about, it is stored somewhere, in some conscious it is there. So that, please carry on.
Yes. No, this is Abhisankara.
No, that is sankhara.
Wait. This is? No.
That's the sasana, right?
Yes. Give me 1 second, I'll explain. Wait. I mean, this is very wonderful. This is what you're doing from morning to night. Okay, give me 1 second. Right. You have a false sense of thing, agree? You also have a sense of apple as well.
I mean, the same thing. They are the same thing. All sense of apple and apple is the same thing, right?
No.
It's a perception.
Because you collectively feel, you don't feel that it's two different things. But I'm telling you right now, natural mind, the Buddha nature of the mind that he is explaining, that is what I'm telling. Naturally, even though you enlighten or not, right? When I point this towards you, it has to sense an apple. Otherwise, when you enlighten, you have to be like this. No sense at all. It won't happen. You have seen that Buddha lived. Do you understand that? He talked to people. He explained things to people. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it? Yeah. Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Whatever the energy is trapped here, it is releasing to the environment. Right? Part of this energy is storing in like these balls. This is what we call karmic balls. You don't have to worry about those names. Right? This energy that trapped there is now releasing because it has to, this was free energy and now trapped. It has to find a way to release that energy. Energy doesn't like to be entrapped. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes or no, so far?
Yes, what comes to my mind, please clarify. This is subject-object domain, whereas the top one is free of them. So, Buddha being enlightened, he had no issues of subject and object, but the perception was clear.
Yeah. This part is not there in the Buddha or enlightened person, right? This part is there everywhere, even the enlightened person or the non-enlightened person. Do you understand that? The energy is being trapped here is now, it's there, it's now releasing that energy time to time. Time to time means one mind at a time, it releases and gives the perceptions, natural perceptions. That's why in your day-to-day life you feel different perceptions. Apple perception. In order to perceive, perception has to happen because of energy. Right? Right. When this energy get released, this process is now trapping this energy and putting back. That part you didn't understand. I told you, remember I told you, in order to create that artificial sense, it needs to find some energy, free energy. From where does that free energy he is getting, the mind is getting? From this perception. From this perception, now the energy is trapped, energy is now going to release. Do you understand that? Because of this process, it is trapping again and putting back.
So it is an inefficient mechanism.
Inefficient or efficient?
No, this is an inefficient mechanism. Ultimately, one has to come out of this and always be able to tap the free energy and do things.
Yes. So whatever the free energy, that energy that is being freed from this process is trapping and putting back. Do you understand that thing? That's energy. It has to release. And it is going through a process to be free. Right? This process is taking that energy and putting back.
But you said this, there is something inherently false in this particular thing, not this part. The lower part. There's something inherently not bad but false thing. But once a false energy goes into the upper energy, it has to be inherently false also. It cannot be correct. But you say Arihant also have the same thing and non-Arihant.
See, I told you. You don't match with what you have learned.
Yeah, but I'm just saying what you just said and trying to figure out.
Yes. Arihatun doesn't. How come then Arihatun have ignorance, right?
Yeah.
No. That's why. Now.
Something interfering.
Listen. Whatever the energy getting here and putting back. Do you understand that so far?
So there is a continuous interchange of energy.
Released and putting back because of this process. And this idea always confirms this feeling always confirms the idea, it is self-nurtured. As a result of that, this process keep doing and it is putting back the energy. This is completely now interlocked system. Can you see that?
This is getting caught up in that situation. So one has to come out of that. So
how to do that?
Are we false sense of thing? That's where each of us fits in. Do each of us fits in the false sense of thing? That circle?
This circle?
The false sense thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Our minds fit into that circle?
Yes, you are enjoying right now as well.
But then
I think.
Yes, that's 𝐷𝗃𝗏𝗃.
Bhagavata Buddha didn't explain about reincarnation, ladies and gentlemen. Buddha found profound than that. Buddha found that each and every minding moment recreate that minding moment.
Now I get it.
So every minute is a reincarnation.
Effectively what I meant to say is, simply speaking, that in the false sense of entity, it gives rise to a false sense of perception, which is the villain of the piece. Is that right?
Wait, I'll explain. You're right, partially right.
Perceptions are sun and Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankhara.
Yes, I didn't write it because you might get confused. Because you don't know Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankhara, don't worry about that. Perceptions means perceivings, you feel the pen and it creates some idea within your mind. These are natural ideas, you don't have to control, you can't come out of it, it creates. When I point at this with you, it creates that perception of an eraser. Do you understand that? So far so good? In order that to happen, that needs energy. This energy is being trapped by the previously created process. This process created that energy previously. Don't think that there are only 5 balls. There are millions of balls.
See, it is a very simple analogy of form creating perception, thing creating perception. We'll come to the next one as well. So it is a very simple mechanism.
Is that why we, like for example, if there is a death in the family, and we understand something, the uncle dies. Like, the uncle in the family dies. We look at uncle as an uncle.
You look at uncle, as a result of that you feel the suffering.
Once you understand that this is a false sense of thing, that will affect our perception, and ultimately we will not feel that much of a grief. Is that right? Right understand?
Give me 1 second. This vexation, mental pressure, is the mental pressure that you have been feeling. When your uncle die, right? You feel the sadness, right? It's not because of uncle pass away. You feel uncle in uncleness. Uncleness in uncle. To experience uncleness in uncle. Uncleness in uncle. The mind has to iterate this cycle so many times. It increases the pressure within the mind. Right? It creates these balls, so many balls now. Right? You are still in the cycle, don't worry. Now tell me, wait, now I have to enjoy this. Now tell me, whatever the perception that you have right now is a result of past action. Have you learned that before? Yes. Whatever that happens to you, what you give is what you get. Niranjan, remember I told you, Mishra, I have things that I can't explain in detox your mind. If I start to explain this in online, you will get trapped. You can't come out of it. Now what happened here? Do you have questions, madam? Perplexed? Perplexed?
Oh, not good.
You? Sir? Good? I want all the audience. Now, what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Each and every moment is a moment that is created because of the past action. That's why Jesus said, man reap what he sows. Yādisang vapate pejam tādisang bhante palang. What you give is what you get. What you give is what you get. This moment is a creation that the result from the past action. At this moment you have no control. See? Try not to hear this clap. Don't hear. If you are the control of your perception, no, don't hear. No, ladies and gentlemen. Close your eyes. Now try not to see black color. No, color perception happens each and every split of a second. You have, that's why it says, karmanyevadhikaratte ma phalesu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani. You can't responsible. You can't create.
You don't have a control on the outcome.
You don't have a control on the outcome.
You only have control on the process.
You have the control of the process of action. Do you believe Newton's third law? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's you believe, right? Okay. This is a reaction, ladies and gentlemen, because of the stored energy.
So this is, Swaminathan said, once we replace this false sense of thing into the true nature of thing, then that is going to be a very beautiful perception.
No. Give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, now what happened? This is a right idea or wrong idea? He is expecting a Santa. No, now mind is expecting not Santa. This mind is expecting what? Thing, uniqueness. Now, in the second session with 𝗵𝗺 and after the 𝗵𝗺, we have explained that these are not things. There's no uniqueness in there. Right? What I have been doing, ladies and gentlemen, I have been nurturing this mind, attacking this idea by proving to your minds that what you believe is wrong. So, only point that breaks the cycle is this confirming process. What you can do is, because of the noble association, you get the point of views to prove your minds that this is against nature what you feel.
Give me all your contact numbers. Noble association. So basically what you are saying, this apple when you pick up, this thing is a no thing. And even a no thing is the thing.
This thing, when you say this thing, you feel thing. No. Everything, even the perceptions are same. Ladies and gentlemen, if you feel coming to Auckland and going to Colombo is two different things, you are ignorant. If you feel a difference between living in your house and coming out from your house, if you feel difference, that means you have this false sense of separation, false sense of uniqueness. If you eat an apple and if you eat an orange, if you feel from bottom of your heart that apple, I am eating an apple and I am eating a mandarin, that means you have gone insane at that moment, because you are not eating an apple, because you can't eat an apple. This is also clump of energies. Clump of energies.
When you eat an apple, what do you feel? When you eat an apple?
When I'm eating apple, I'm contemplating what's actually really there.
But then when you are tasting apple, the sweetness and the sourness of the apple,
yes.
What happens in your mind?
I'm thinking, I'm reflecting, this is an aggregation. Because I'm always proving to myself, even I'm talking right now, these words are not words. These are aggregations.
That's what is the practicing.
This is the practicing. Practicing, Buddha said this. These are the kaya and 𝗃 satipatthana. This is what Buddha said. 𝗘𝗃𝗏𝗁 𝗵𝗂𝐵 මග්ගෝ සත්තානං විසුද්ධියා ශෝක පරිදේවනං සමතික්කමාය දුක්ඛ දෝමනසානං අත්තංගමාය ඥායස්ස අධිගමාය චත්තාරෝ සතිපට්ඨානන්ති. There's only one path to liberate from this suffering cycle. That is to reflect about Satra Satipatthana. Reflect about reflect about these are processes. These are not one entities. Reflect about whatever you feel, your senses are also aggregation. Reflect about whatever your minds are also not a mind, that's also an aggregations. Reflect about all the world, everything are nothing, it's an aggregations. This is the ultimate way to come out of the trapping cycle, that you are trapped.
About understanding that.
Reflecting.
And reflecting and probably absorbing and taking actions. How can we basically seize the...
Yes. Good question.
That's a good question.
In a normal life, is it normal life or crazy life?
Crazy. Lay people's life.
That's why Buddha gave you a way. It's not lay people. You have to come out from lay attitude. Okay. Guess, give me 1 second. Guess, madam or sir, that why I'm doing this? Did you pay for this? Do I have any agenda by giving this to you? I'm practicing my... If you don't come here, let's say one person came, nobody came, because if I feel a difference, if I feel it, no, because no expectation, because there's no different experiences. If I stay here, if I go there, if I'm on a plane, if I seated in somewhere, what I have to do is same thing.
These are not there.
No, this is the ultimate way. When you are living as a lay person, right? You have to do things for yourself. But the thing is, this is you. Uniqueness means what? I was hiding things. This is the ladies and gentlemen sense of self.
Very clear.
There's no self, there's a sense of a self. It's a false sense of self. This is selflessly supporting, but in the society, selfishly supporting. Now, as you what happened? Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, now, let's say because of the noble association, more you get more drushti, more. Your mind is nurtured with this profound wisdom, point of views to get rid of this idea, wrong idea, out of your mind. As a result, I'm going to erase. If you want to.
Is this what is known as samadhi?
Yes. What I have been feeding you is samadhi. See, that's why I'm telling you. I'm feeding you chicken without telling that I'm giving you chicken. This is what we have been doing in the second session. This is the guided meditation. Oh, it's not guided meditation. Ladies and gentlemen, now think about, you have a wrong idea. You have to get rid of that idea. And you have to plant this new idea. Getting rid of wrong idea and planting new idea also can call it anapana. It's not breathing. Anapana, it's a meditation technique, but people have misunderstood that breathing and breathe out is the what Buddha meant. Buddha didn't mean breathing and breathe out. Buddha meant you have to internalize the right view and you have to get rid of the wrong view. What we have been doing right now throughout this 9 to 5 is anapana. Okay, I'm going to
Inhaling the right view and exhaling the wrong view.
To the mind. Buddha treated to the mind, not to the body. Now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? When this is the indoctrinated, that wrong idea. When this get rid of away, and when this idea planted in this mind, now what happened? There's no attachment, because you don't have to attach, because now you have the idea what is there. You put the right seed. When you know this is it, you don't have to attach, because you don't have to look for it, because why? That is the nature. It is there. So, I mean, what is the right idea? Aggregation. What is the wrong idea? Sorry, uniqueness thing. If you get rid of the wrong idea, when you have the right idea, there's nothing to attach, because all are. Anyway, this is also aggregation. What you perceive, everything that you perceive also what? Aggregation. You don't have to look for it, because you have it. Because of that, no attachment. Because of that, no mental pressure. Because of that, no abhisankara process. Because of that, no false sense of self. As a result of that, no storing back the energy. And now you have cleansed this process. This is the person who lives after becoming Arihatan. Now he has the stored energy still. It creates the perception, natural perception. After this stored energy finished, or after this the body that pass away, the perception also finish. No jati.
So that's a cessation to...
Bhante, very well explained, understand. But what happens is, the moment we walk away from here, no Bhante, everything is back to the normal. So how do we how do we initiate action for us to overcome this? That is
This is the $1 million question.
Because these are outflows. So how do we, like you said, please find out a way not to hear this. How do we return our hearing to hear our own self-nature, which is devoid of motion and stillness, so that slowly we can bring our senses to some control, which is a very difficult... Okay, I park this question. I will ask you this later on. But yes, how do we overcome?
Nilanjan, now give me 1 second. You came to me one day, 2 years ago, and you said,
Will you be my teacher?
will you be my teacher?
Yes.
That day I promised you. Yes.
Thank you, teacher. But I'll tell you what, I must admit, I'll not say, how do I say this? Long years of studying Buddhist literature, as compared to this sermon of about 2-3 hours, has been extremely rewarding as compared to long years of studying Buddhist literature.
That's why I told you. You can't read and get the
Gradually I've
wisdom.
started believing that it is better to listen rather than to study.
Wonderful. Now he asked a question. Do you have a question? Ask. Madam? All good? He asked me, when you go away, you don't get these feelings again. You go back to the same jungle, because you are now you are associating. You are like-minded. Like-minded means who? Craziness. Right? If you want to come out from here, you need to associate this mindset. That's why we have been providing this support for people like you. That's why I told you, I promise you that all the detox your mind, series, that what we have been doing is, at least once a week, 9 p.m. Monday, we have been supporting that right views to your mind. And on Sunday night, 7 p.m. in Sinhala, there's a sermon. You know, all the way that I'm traveling around with 𝗵𝗁𝗧, we have been doing Sunday sermon, Monday night sermon, and now Wednesday early morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, we are doing another sermon, Detox Your Mind to UK.
Today
And
also,
Friday,
today 9 o'clock we are going to have today.
we will have 𝗵𝗁𝗧 is ready.
One thing, so taking a kind of a message from you is Anapanasati in terms of the concentration of inhale and exhale may be a good practice to control our senses and mindfulness.
No, that is something not Buddha. I mean, I can't say that is not Buddha, what Buddha said, but when you come to the profound wisdom, the deeper and deeper wisdom, right, the inhaling and that thing is not the right thing to what Buddha did. What Buddha has asked us to do is to cleanse the mind from the wrong views. That's why Noble Eightfold Path starts with the right view, ladies and gentlemen, not right breathing.
Not right breathing. But as the starting point, to concentrate...
No, you don't have to. This is the starting point. What you have done, sir, today is the starting point. Which means Bhante, which means you have to keep listening. That's why it says, Dhammang vinanatti pitacha mata tameva tanang saranam patitta tasma hi 𝗵𝗁𝗁 sunata dhareta charata dhamme. You have to, there's no refuge other than the Dhamma. Leave everything that you do. Leave everything you do, and you have to listen first.
What are your views on meditation?
Actually, Swami, this changed my way of thinking about the meditation, because I thought the meditation you need a special space and you need to be very calm and quiet. But now I realize we have to always keep awake and reflect what we see. That's the real meditation. Not that what we close, when we close our eyes we don't see anything, and it's not the way to do it.
Right.
Does it not
awake
help?
is what is the meditation.
I can't say that is not help, that is helping, that is not helping. It does not matter. Right? You can close your eyes, you can open your eyes. What you have to understand is, what you have to reflect is, what's happening right now. Momentarily, you are momentarily satisfying.
While we do our normal stuff.
Yeah. So while we're doing normal stuff, it's easy to do the meditation.
While you are doing normal stuff, you can do that.
Okay.
That's why you have to start listening to the Dhamma again and again and again. When you start listening to this again and again and again, this idea get indoctrinated to your mind that you now start to see everything as like aggregation. Honestly, I'm telling you that throughout these sessions, I was practicing this. Now also, when I'm talking to you, I'm practicing this, because now, when I look at you, inside my mind, I'm busy. With what? Nilanchaling.
The biggest problem is, we understand how spiritually advanced you are to contemplate and reflect and convey the true Dhamma. But in Sri Lanka, lots of sad Dhamma is happening.
No, wait. I am here because of my teachers. After I did a PhD, if I go back to my Montessori teacher and said, what you are saying is wrong, because I have done a PhD, what you are doing is wrong, it's like I'm killing my parents, because still my Montessori teacher will be writing A for apple and B for ball, but because of him I did a PhD. Whoever the monks that I met, whoever the teachings that they shared with me, all helped me to find this journey. Not only those monks, previous mums and dads in my previous lives. These are my mums and dads in my previous lives. That's why you came here. Because those days I was indoctrinating wrong ideas. Now I'm trying to correct my wrong, what I did for you. That's why I'm honored to have you all here. Bakulas, they're honored to have you all here because we believe one thing, that is, if you are capable of understanding this Dhamma, you have to come in front of us. This is the only way, ladies and gentlemen. Realization, the truth, is the way to set you free. See? That's the Bible.
Bhante, my question still remains. See, everything is an aggregate in space. And it gives us a false impression of solidity or whatever. So, how are we to use this talks of this Dhamma to sustain our development towards
Dhamma?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we will disperse.
No.
Because of this umbrella.
That is the nature.
Umbrella we have aggregated here today to listen to your profound words. And so my question still remains, how we need to progress as a community or as an individual, because you have made it very clear, there is no individual, there is no uniqueness. But the me in me is so strong that I will keep asking you, please pardon me, I don't mean anything, that Bhante, how do I meditate? How do I practice? How do I do this? Chasing a goal. There is no chasing of goal. Everything is calm.
The journey is the goal.
Everything is calm in its own way. It is that we are confused and we try to delve ourselves into that. How are we supposed to, by the time you come next, it will be another 6 months or 8 months, I don't know.
Listen. Only thing that you can do, listen and offering something merits, doing merits. Whatever that you have done in the past, bring you to this moment. Because you have owed, you have been owned. Oh, Sasaneta Naimala. You are in debt to Sasana. So, Sasana in debt to you.
What is Sasana?
Sasana means this wisdom.
Okay.
This wisdom has a debt towards you. That's why I have been used in this process. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. These Bhantes, these monks have been used to convey
the
right message to you, because you, Sasana, the wisdom has a debt towards you. Because you have given to the Sasana before. That's why you have given to the profound wisdom before. That's why the wisdom has a debt towards you. That's why the servant to the wisdom is now being used to get this message across to you. Did you get the point? Playback time. This is what we have done in the morning, that you offered something, food, before you eat, to the Buddha and to the servant of the Buddha, and then you had it. That is why I came towards you and you offered something. Because now you have offered something, because now we are offering. There's a nice quote, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't give wisdom, give to someone who gives wisdom, then you will receive wisdom.
Thank you.
Right? This is why we are saying, Dhanang vibhushanang loke, dhanang dukkha nivaranam, dhanang 𝗧𝗏 𝗺𝗔 𝗍𝒑𝗏, dhanang santi karam sukham. That's in the Bhagavad Gita. These are not Buddhist texts. The slokas, because these are Indians, so I'm taking from them. Dhanang vibhushanang loke. Dhana, giving is something, giving is the best thing in the world. Giving gives you liberation, giving gives you satisfaction, giving gives you happiness. That's what it says in that sloka. At the end of that sloka it says, giving gives you the ultimate happiness, inner peace. Dhanam dukkha nivarana.
And also sabba dhanam dhamma
Dhanam jinati. That's in the Buddha. You know, what you receive right now is not because that you receive, it's because that you have given in the past. Right? This is the reaction. Think about the action. Today you receive the Dhamma because you have given to the Dhamma. Likewise, it has to happen to you, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I want you to get together and involve in merits. I want you to come together. It should go beyond the barriers of Sri Lankan people, non-Sri Lankan, British or whatever. Because there's no British in British, there's no Sri Lankan, there's no New Zealanders in New Zealand, because there's no British milk in British milk. And there's no New Zealand milk in New Zealand milk. That cow doesn't know that he is New Zealand or he is British.
Sorry, Bhante, there is a question. If I don't ask, I will not have the pleasure of your physical presence here. See, we all have accumulated huge amount of negative karmas in the past. As a result of that the bodhicitta, bodhi, or our Buddha nature, we are not able to realize it because of such impediments. What do we do to nullify quickly?
Not nullify.
Or how to change that?
Change it. What you can do is you can postpone them. The way to postpone is when you offer something to Buddha, when you offer a water, let's say a glass of water every day, if you can offer in front of Buddha's statue, you are not offering to this statue, you are offering to that wisdom. When you offer something that you are sacrificing your time and money or life or something that you have, let's say you have something. Truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, when I was a lay person back in Canberra, when I was doing my PhD, and after doing my PhD I was working as a research scientist, and those 3 years, 4, 6, 7 years, like 5 years, whatever that I earn, the first portion of that I earn, I dedicated to Sambuddha Sasana. It's not only huge amount, just $20, just $10. I separated that to that profound wisdom and I gave. I did so many things out of that. And then towards the end of my life, towards the end of that lay life, I was dedicated to the Sasana. I was doing businesses, I was doing so many works. Investing in share market to propagate the Dhamma, to help monasteries in Sri Lanka, to build monasteries in Sri Lanka. Not in Sri Lanka, because I know only one place that we can build. So I was doing those things. I was involved my 100% of my life, dedicating whatever that we both, my back then wife and me both. You will meet her September. Pasindu Bhante. September, right? Anagarikama? August or September? Auckland. September, yes. So our monastery has Anagarikas as well, female, and they will also visit here in September. So you can meet them as well.
Looking forward to it. Bhante, I just wanted to have your kind of advice on one thing. Like, for example, you know this much. You are trying to transfer all those kind of wisdom to us, and we are little, very little knowledge, Dhamma knowledge. So we would like to propagate at our own small little level. We want to propagate Dhamma to, let's say, our colleagues, our children, the association that I'm part of, many associations, not Buddhist association, but normal association. What can we do to propagate Dhamma to them?
Yes. For the time being, don't try to preach. Right? Because I started preaching after my teacher allows me to do that. Because once I am capable of doing this, then my teacher said, okay, go ahead. Until that, what you can do is try to make the courses. You can ask them to bring something to here whenever that we have function. You can ask them to come to the monastery, because we have pilgrimage coming up in next December. That people come to the Sri Lanka, our monastery, and they stay there for 7 days, and 7 days, and the 7 days we will show them the country, the Buddhas, the monasteries and other stuff, and 7 days you will be there in our monastery practicing this. Every day you will have the sermons and so many things. Right? And also, and see, this is only 1 day. And another thing that we have organized in Melbourne, May, I think towards the end of the May, we have 3-day meditation retreat. Like 1 day here. We have 3-day meditation retreat in English. May, right? End of May, right? Yes, in Melbourne. So, give me a second. So, what we are doing is we are creating that environment to you.
But one doesn't have to be a monk to preach.
No. I mean, you need to have a guidance with a teacher. That's why every week I have teachers' meetings. So every week I am explaining to my teacher what I understood. So today 𝗵𝗺𝗁 is my student. So after I did that second session, I went to 𝗵𝗺𝗁 and I explained what I felt when I was explaining something. Right? And 𝗵𝗺𝗁 was experiencing. He said that he was experiencing the same thing in the toilet in that way, that moment. Right? Yes. See.
Yeah, I would like to be.
So that's why I am telling you have to dedicate your life towards this goal, because this is the only way to come out from this. I'm not asking you to get ordained. I'm asking you to start this business. This is the only business that you can end. Put a full stop. Otherwise, always coma. To be continued. Try to find happily live ever after. Yes, sir. Aneka jati sansara. Sorry.
Yeah, you explained about the process and how like it's a repeating process that you have to escape from. So like you gave the example of the uncle dying and whatnot. So like let's say if you lose someone like that you love a lot, like that gives like a lot of pain, right? And it's not something you can easily escape from. Like how would you sort of like escape in a setting like that by someone you are really close with? And that the pain, like
Because you have this now. You have gone crazy levels, like 10 levels craziness. You know why? You have separated yourself. You have separated that one out of everyone. And then you have separated that, you have created a connection between you and that person. There's no person there like that. You have created a connection. Where? It's in your mind. Everything happens in your mind. Right? You are not suffering because your uncle passed away. You are suffering because your uncle in the mind passed away. We can't say let go. Only thing is understand the truth. There was no uncle. But there's an aggregation of energy. There was a mind there. That's the process. That's why Buddha said, when you realize this, when you understand this, you go beyond the death. Because you won't feel death in a death. You feel death is something wrong sense.
It's a mental construct.
You mean? I have to explain this. Death is something wrong. suffering is something wrong.
You are not born, so where is the scope of dying?
Dying, yes. Death is, yes, when you feel death, that death sense is a false sense. You are looking at it as something wrong. Now, at the moment, you are looking at it something there, something okay. This is, you are not, this is what Buddha said, 𝗗𝗃𝗁. Dukkha means not suffering. Now you are seeing it as something wrong, something not okay.
What we say, 𝗗𝗃𝗁.
Dukkha, first noble truth. Dukkha does not mean that suffering. Dukkha means that you perceive it as, you see it as something not okay. What is that? False sense of self.
There is no dukkha.
No. There's dukkha means you are viewing, you are seeing, you are looking, your perspective towards the false sense of self is not, it's a false sense. Now, give me 1 second. Do you feel that yourself is false sense or it's true sense?
See, the energy before being conceived found the womb to be conceived and then took its birth as energy, developed as different aggregations through the various structures, and the death is also the
Aggregation.
energy,
Aggregation. Yes.
So there is, where is the suffering in this whole thing?
No.
So that in the Tanka passing away example, so it's just that like we believe that there is an uncle, that's one thing, and the other thing is we expect that uncle to be there forever, right? That's why we feel like
no.
like when he passes away, we feel like
You feel the same uncle is there.
that same uncle is there.
But the thing is,
and he has to live forever kind of a feeling,
yes.
right? Because that's why
Yes.
when he passes away, we feel like.
Yes. Can you see an apple? Can you see an apple?
Yes.
Is it the same apple? Ah. Why? Because whatever that perception happens, that aggregation, what happened to that aggregation now? Go on. Then again, recreating. Then, have you seen the same monk throughout these 5 hours?
Is that the reason why you said don't worry about let go? So let go also.
You need something.
It's also happening every time.
See, classical, I may be wrong. We expect the uncle to live forever with no certainty that we will live forever.
Exactly.
So how crazy is that?
If we don't have the perception that the uncle should live, he should live forever, we don't feel like passing away won't be a big suffering for
We are
us.
also going to
Yeah.
live forever, and our uncles are acting and friends and doesn't want to
So we may feel like they need to live forever, but we are not.
See, it is like with both hands we are trying to gather as much material as possible, knowing very clearly that we'll go with nothing. But we are trying to borrow, trying to grab whatever we can, as if there is no tomorrow.
You said something very important, I believe, but very confusing. You said dukkha is feeling that things are okay.
No, not okay.
Not okay. And then once you understand that
When you understand dukkha as dukkha,
then there is no dukkha. So how do you understand dukkha as a dukkha? What is that?
no.
It's the perception, it's the way.
Listen, Nilanjan. What Buddha has done is changing the perspective. When Buddha said, idam dukkhang, when Buddha said, this is dukkha, that means, bloody fool, see it as dukkha. That means, like this. Sense of self is okay or not okay?
Not okay.
You have understand the dukkha satya. First noble truth is looking the sense of self as a false sense of self. That is the dukkha satya. Means now you are cleansing your mind view towards that sense of self.
So, number of times people say, some other thinkers, they say, the dukkha, the suffering needs to be understood.
Wrong.
Actually, it is a very wrong philosophy, wrong direction of saying that suffering needs to be understood. All this noble truth needs to be understood because it is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense at all.
Because when you translate dukkha as suffering, that's the problem. That's where the problem started. Dukkha does not mean suffering, ladies and gentlemen. Dukkha means look at it as something not okay. Because now you have a perspective. You embraced with that. My loving kindness. My loving father and mother. That is that idea, wrong idea. What is the wrong idea? Things are there. Self is there. Entities are there. Separation is there. Uniqueness is there. That's utter fallacy. When you look at that idea is something wrong, that means you have understood dukkha satya. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that you have to be very happy about, that we are discussing the first noble truth that Buddha has uttered from his mouth. I don't know how you should feel.
We were very lucky to get the right Dhamma from you, Mandir, and we are very, very fortunate, as you said, in the past sansara, we may have done some good karma to get this kind of insight and knowledge. And we are truly respectful for this session. Thank you.
Just for the wisdom.
This is, I can't, because this is not me. This is because all my teachers. You have met my teacher, like in December. This is all because of them. This is not me. I'm just, this is a radio. This is your merits that executed here. Do merits.
Dhamma once that we talked about dukkha, will you be expanding on anicca and anatta? What is anicca and what is anatta? I have studied.
Okay. I think you need. Okay. So far, you have felt anicca and you have felt anatta. Shall I explain? Okay. When I say, listen. When I say there's no separate thing, what is the belief that you had? You had a belief there are things, separation. Atta means separation. Anatta means not separated. Na atta, against atta. Atta means uniqueness. Existence means uniqueness. There are slight difference between the translations. When people read the book and translated this, that is where all the problem has started now. Yeah, you have to find a teacher and then do this. Otherwise you can't experience this. Anicca means, remember when I say, can you see the same apple again? That means that moment is creating all the causes to experience that effect.
Like apple, this way.
Impermanent.
Not impermanence.
Constantly changing.
Not constantly changing. If you say constantly changing, that means, ladies and gentlemen, there's a thing to change. Changing cannot come with anicca experience. Anicca means nothing is fixed, nothing is made. Nothing is done.
Constantly making.
Constantly in the process.
Constantly.
Processing.
Constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving means constantly supporting. These cells are constantly being supporting.
Towards aggregation and towards non-aggregation. Both.
And it is going to, like, for example, it is aggregating.
Aggregated. You can't find aggregated things. Electrons, protons, neutrons, everything is supporting for that aggregate.
Time is going to come when this is going to shrivel away, it is going to get destroyed, it is going to get rotten. And it will be disintegrating?
No. Aggregating.
And then what?
There's nothing made. Anicca means nothing made.
And disintegration is also one kind of aggregation.
Yes. It's like the process of create. It's like this. There's a flame. Flaming process stops, ceases.
And gives rise to another.
That is another effect. We haven't talked about that much. Today I went through the anatta nature. Time to time, it doesn't matter. It depends on the audience. So I think we have another session. Pasina Mahatya. When we have another English session, right? 27th? Huh?
English session.
28th. Auckland University. Yes. So we will discuss something. Day by day, you have to get clear. What is this? Reality. Clearer it becomes. Clearer it gets.
You listen to the right Dhamma.
Yes.
That's the biggest challenge.
How do you know right Dhamma?
Because we feel that
You felt it.
the way that you present it.
Yeah, and then what happens is, how to say this? When you get the right understanding, you get spiritually elated.
Elated because now you are turning upside down.
Yeah.
The way you behave, the way you see the world.
It's like a popcorn.
I want to ask you before that you stopped that vipaka pose we create, and you said until up to arahat level we is creating. So is there a way that it reduce with the soa, sakadagami, that stages?
Yes.
Because otherwise we are creating all
Yes.
the time and suddenly it stops. It is like that, right?
Yes. I didn't explain all yet, right? Because that I simplify as much as possible to get things across to you, right? So we can detail it out more.
In Sanskrit, there is some word called Shravana. Shravana means hearing.
Shravana.
Well, of course, I don't understand whether they are single and things like that. But the knowledge that you acquire.
Shravana is Shravana. Same. That's why we can stay like this. Now, throughout this session, I don't feel I'm tired. You know why? Because I have the same energy that I had when I started. Because I'm contemplating. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I feel after talking, I should be tired. No. After flying for 17 hours from Rome to Auckland in the morning, right? What happened? Yes. I landed on 2:45 a.m. in the morning. Then there's a flight from 6 a.m. to Christchurch, and then I went there, and then after that I had a session. Sleepiness is there, but once you start speaking and the Dhamma, the energy is coming.
Body is tired, the mind is not.
That's a nice saying. Body is weak, the mind is. Flesh is willing, the mind is.
The body is in the mind. If your mind is okay, your body is okay too.
The spirit is willing, the flesh is willing.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for that.
They can't thank you enough.
I told you, that's why when you ask questions, that's why I told you, I will unpuzzle this. It will take some time, wait until the end.
Yeah, you get the puzzle. It's a puzzle.
Because this is like the movie. We are creating from the scratch to the top. It's a bundle.
But you must have planned the end in your mind, no? When you were planning
No.
knowledge.
I know that usually a talk is something like this, because I can't directly talk about Dhamma. Nobody understands. You have to have that same frequency. You have to bring that same frequency with your mind and my mind. It takes time. That's why all the different people, depends on the merits of the different people, they start engaging. And then I try, during the talk, we try our best to keep engaging, keep engaged, right? That creates the same frequency. That's why if I see someone is very dull, then I said, did you understand? Did you understand? No? Which part? Then I restarting that process to get that person as well along with the party.
But I was dull on those kind of things. So that's what
This is the very profound teaching. This is the only thing. This is the thing that we have to do to realize there's no such a thing. Separation. Okay, thank you very much for listening.